My name is Willa Nasatir. I'm a photographer and I make sculptures also, but all of the things that I make live inside of photographs. When I first started taking pictures, I only liked taking pictures of people, and I thought that like the human body was like the most necessary thing that's like the most evocative thing. And slowly I became more and more concerned about like what it means to take a picture of another person and questions about identity, and it became more interesting to me to try and like recreate some of the character of a body in my studio and with things that aren't that, and what it means to take some things picture. I just kept wanting to go deeper and deeper in that, and like have everything in the picture be something that my hand has touched, and everything that's kind of like controlled by me. It's like a little bit of a control thing. And that's where the sculptures come, basically. And so this like idea of a moment is like sort of the idea of a character, and all these different sculptures of these different characters that I see as interacting with one another, but it's somewhat vague, I think. I make sculptures and landscapes and cityscapes in my studio. In terms of source material, I watch a lot of movies, and I think that New York is very inspiring to me. Anything from the stuff that I see left out on the street to, everything. There will be something that stands out to me in something I've seen, or a dream, or as any sort of like encounter, and then in my studio I try and like make it or approximate it to the best of my abilities. Usually I have some idea of what it's going to be, the sort of like approximation of what these things are. It's pretty freeform though, and a part of it is also like how these objects are situated and the ways that they can be hidden and distorted in these like constructions that I build. I like the way that photography can like provide you with these like illusions, can take an object out of what it is when you see it and make it into this, like, put it in this completely different context. For a long time, photography is like thought of as like a depiction of something, or it's thought of as a document of something, even though it's so false. I think recently the validity of a photograph has been questioned a lot, and so it's not necessarily like treated as truth now. And I don't think that what I'm doing is like going directly in opposition to like photography's truth, because everyone knows now that like it's so unclear and murky. But I think like there's a language in photography that you can make something really your own, and it can become extremely subjective, and that's interesting to me. I was thinking a lot about memory in particular in this body of work, and the weird gaps in memory, and how something can seem familiar but not be, and like deja vu, and the weird ways that our brain fills in the blanks. When I look at it, I could walk you through like what, where, for instance, like the hat came from, and like where these objects come from. But I think that there's something really powerful about coming to your own conclusions about works. And I think photographs are often these things where it's like, where was this taken? Where did it come from? Like, what is the provenance? Like, what is the like significance of this as like a moment, versus just having an experience of looking at something and looking at it for a long time and figuring out what you're seeing. Or what I want my work to do is not necessarily for someone to register the feeling that I have in making those things, but rather like it's familiar enough to someone that it can evoke something else.